Hello FGL world, hope everybody's doing well. Discussing the question of Dara, who was home in her apartment on a Friday night and decided that she was hungry. She was going to take the bag of chips that was bought by her roommate Emily. Emily was away for the weekend. Enjoy the chips with the intention, of course, to pay back, to buy another bag. The question we want to look at is the question of whether Dara was permitted to take the chips. Emily wasn't there. Did she do the right thing? How do we view this case? One way to look at the case of using somebody's items when they don't know about it is to think about the concept in Jewish law called yeush. Yeush means when a person has an item that they have lost and someone finds it, have to obviously try to give it back to the owner. If it belongs to someone, there's a way to find it, a symbol, a name on the item, etc. If a person loses hope they're ever going to get back that item, then the item becomes ownerless. That's the rule in Jewish law called yeush. Perhaps one could argue that in the case of the bag of chips, even though Dara could ask Emily after, did you mind that I took it, she could get, permission, retroactive permission. That wouldn't necessarily help in this case, because in the law and in the legal sense, if somebody loses something and doesn't know that they've lost it, so here we have a bag of chips, Emily doesn't know that Dara is consuming this bag of chips, it might not help that after the fact Emily was okay with Dara taking the chips and eating them. One could argue in that case that Dara, in fact, isn't really borrowing the chips, but she's maybe stealing the chips, and that would be problematic. The other way to look at this is not a lost object at all. This has nothing to do with the legal concept that we just laid out over the last minute. But really, in fact, what we're talking about is borrowing something, sharing something, giving something, even without explicit permission. Could be a problem if you don't ask beforehand. But maybe in an apartment setting, perhaps the setup in the apartment is a shared items. People buy things and they pay each other back. If that's the scenario, then Dara did nothing wrong. The best thing to do, obviously, would have some kind of setup within which these things would be permitted. And if not, then having to ask explicit permission. Otherwise, Dara probably wouldn't actually be able to take that bag of chips.